Welcome back to the Board Business Channel. You ready to dive into something kind of crazy today?
Always.
Okay, so strap in because we're going to try and unpack this company, Gongan Precision.
Gongan Precision.
Yeah, and get this. They're playing in not one, but two huge industries.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
We're talking the tiny world of semiconductors
Okay.
and the massive world of aerospace.
Whoa, wait a minute.
It's like they have a secret double life or something.
Yeah, seriously. On one hand, they're making these parts you practically need a microscope to see.
What?
And on the other, they're building components for things that actually fly.
I know, right? It's mind-blowing.
It is.
But what blows my mind even more is how important they actually are to these industries.
Oh, they're not just playing around. They're major players.
Okay, so let's start with the semiconductor side.
Right.
You know those chips that are basically in everything these days? Our phones, our cars.
Oh, yeah, those chips are everywhere.
I mean, they wouldn't even exist without companies like Gongan. Okay, so break it down for me.
Okay, so think about the giants of the chip world, like
Yeah.
ASML, TSMC, Samsung, Intel.
The big guys, right?
Exactly, they're rock stars. But behind the scenes, there are companies like Gongan
Okay.
making the specialized parts for the machines that actually make those chips.
So they're like the roadies making sure the concert actually happens.
You got it. And get this. Gongan plays a huge role in something called advanced lithography.
Advanced what now?
Lithography. Just picture a printing press.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
But instead of ink, they're using light to etch patterns onto silicon wafers.
Wait, light. What kind of light are we talking about here? Lasers.
Oh, we're talking way beyond lasers. ASML's machines use extreme ultraviolet light.
Extreme ultraviolet light?
EUV for short. It has a wavelength so short, it's almost like X-rays.
So we're talking some seriously high-tech stuff here.
Absolutely. And guess what? Gongan is a key supplier for those EUV machines. They make components that need to be unbelievably precise.
How precise are we talking?
We're talking down to the nanometer.
A nanometer. I need like a visual aid here to even comprehend that.
Okay, so imagine a nanometer is like the thickness of a sheet of paper.
All right.
A human hair would be like a giant redwood tree.
Okay, now that's tiny.
Right. And to make these EUV machines work, you need parts that are smooth and stable at that ridiculously small scale.
So it's not just about making tiny things, it's about making them perfectly.
Exactly. And that's what Gongan has figured out how to do.
No wonder those chip giants are practically begging to work with them.
Oh, they are more than knocking. Gongan's 2023 revenue hit a record high.
Wow.
And it's only projected to go up from there.
So they're not just essential, they're also making bank.
You got it. The global demand for advanced chips is insane.
I mean, it feels like every day there's a new phone or a new car with even more tech crammed into it.
Right. And that's Gongan quietly working behind the scenes, making it all possible.
It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about
It
it.
really is.
And it's not just those chips, right? We were talking about advanced packaging earlier.
Oh, yeah, that's another whole level of crazy.
Okay, seriously, what even is that?
All right, so picture this. You have these crazy complex chips.
Okay, like little computer brains.
Exactly, but they're flat, like pancakes. Advanced packaging is basically turning those pancakes into a skyscraper.
A skyscraper made of chips?
You got it. They stack them in 3D to get way more power and efficiency.
So it's like chip architecture.
You're catching on, and Gongan's right in the middle of it.
No way.
Yep. They provide the specialized equipment and parts to make this mind-boggling stacking possible.
Okay, so not only are they riding the wave, they're creating the wave.
They're definitely shaping the future of chips.
But hold on, we haven't even talked about their other business.
Oh, yeah, the aerospace stuff.
I still can't get over this. Are you telling me the same company making these microscopic parts for chips is also making parts for, like, spaceships?
Well, maybe not spaceships yet,
Okay.
but they do provide components for airplanes.
Airplanes.
Big ones, like the Boeing 787 and Airbus A320.
Wait, so the next time I'm on a plane,
Yeah.
there's a chance some tiny part of it was made by the same company that made the chip running my in-flight movie.
You know, it's entirely possible.
That is wild.
It is, and it gets even more interesting because they're not just making parts for airplanes.
They're not.
Nope. They're also involved in the world of low Earth orbit satellites.
Okay, hold up. Why are we suddenly talking about satellites?
Because those little satellites are becoming super important for everything.
Everything.
From global internet access to monitoring the climate to even disaster response.
So they're like the eyes and ears of the planet.
Exactly. And here's the kicker. Gongin is part of the supply chain for SpaceX.
SpaceX, as in Elon Musk's SpaceX.
The one and only. And their Starlink project is launching tons of these satellites into orbit.
Wait, so Gongin is helping build space-based internet?
It's like something out of a sci-fi movie, right?
Fully.
And it shows you how much SpaceX trusts Gong's precision engineering. I mean, building parts for something going into space.
Yeah, we're not talking about a wobbly table leg here.
Exactly. These parts have to withstand crazy temperatures, vibrations, radiation.
Yes, space is a tough place.
And the global satellite market is expected to explode in the coming years.
So they're in the right place at the right time.
For sure. With their connection to SpaceX, Gongin is poised to ride that wave of growth.
Okay, so they've got these tiny chips and space-age parts mastered.
Right.
But what is it about Gongin that makes them so special? What's their secret sauce?
Well, first of all, they've got over 40 years of experience in engineering and manufacturing.
That's a lot of experience.
And they've developed over 100,000 different products.
100,000?
They've pretty much seen and done it all.
So they're not just precise. They're incredibly versatile.
Exactly. They're problem solvers.
Yeah.
And not just with the technical stuff. They've got this crazy sophisticated ERP system.
ERP system.
Think of it like the brains of their whole operation.
Okay, I'm listening.
It streamlines everything from understanding their clients' needs to planning production to managing inventory.
So they're like a well-oiled machine.
Exactly. Every part working in perfect sync. And that's what companies like ASML and SpaceX want.
Yeah, they need a supplier they can count on.
For sure. And Gongin delivers that seamless operation every time.
So it's not just the parts themselves, it's the whole system.
You got it.
Yeah.
That system is what lets them dominate in these two completely different worlds.
It's like they found the formula for success in high-tech no matter the scale.
And they're not stopping there. They're constantly investing in research and development, pushing the limits of what's possible.
I mean, in these industries, if you're not moving forward, you're falling behind.
Exactly. And Gongin always seems to be one step ahead.
Speaking of being ahead, did I tell you what our friend Steve said about Gongin?
Steve?
Yeah, he's the executive director of the Arizona-Taiwan office.
Oh, yeah. What'd he say?
He thinks they're going to make a big splash in the U.S. market.
Well, he's probably right with their track record and all the potential growth in semiconductors and aerospace.
Yeah, the U.S. market is ready for a company like Gongin.
It seems like Steve's onto something.
But we're just getting started. There's still so much more to unpack about this company.
And we're going to do it all right after this. Don't go anywhere. You know what's really impressive about Gongin? It's not just their technical skills. It's how well they understand what their clients actually need.
Yeah, their ERP system,
Which-
right? Is that what helps them get into their clients' heads?
It's a big part of it, for sure. Think about it. If you're supplying parts to a company like ASML,
Right.
whose machines cost hundreds of millions of dollars, a single delay can be a huge disaster.
Yeah, nobody wants to be the supplier holding up the whole show.
Exactly. So Gongin's ERP system lets them basically become part of their clients' operations.
Really?
They know exactly when things need to happen. They can see potential problems before they even come up, and they make sure there's always a steady stream of perfect parts.
So it's like they're not just a supplier. They're like an extension of their client's team.
That's a great way to put it. It's that level of partnership that's helped them build such strong relationships.
And their track record proves it. They've been working with these companies for years, exceeding expectations left and right.
And that's why everyone's so excited about their future. I mean, they've already conquered semiconductors and aerospace.
Right. Where else can they go with this precision engineering magic?
That's the question. Some people think they'll dive deeper into electric vehicles,
EVs.
supplying parts for those super complex electric motors.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Those motors definitely need the kind of precision Gongin's known for.
Exactly. And then there's the whole world of renewable energy. Imagine them making solar panels or wind turbines even better.
Wow. They could be a driving force behind a more sustainable future.
With their ability to adapt and innovate, who knows what they'll do next?
I can already see them on the cover of Time magazine, Gongin Precision, the tiny company powering the future.
I wouldn't be surprised. But for now, let's get back to their current projects, specifically their work with SpaceX.
Oh yeah, SpaceX, that's not just another client. That's like being in the elite club of technology.
It really is, and it says a lot about how much SpaceX trusts them. I mean, to be making components for spacecraft that are pushing the boundaries of space exploration.
That's a huge vote of confidence.
It really is. It shows how committed Gongin is to precision and quality.
You know, it blows my mind. It's not just the technology itself. It's the logistics of it all.
The logistics.
They're making these tiny parts in Taiwan.
Right.
Then they're shipping them to SpaceX in the US to be launched into space.
It's a global operation with incredibly high stakes. One tiny mistake could have huge consequences.
Yeah, there's way more pressure than making parts for a smartphone.
For sure.
Yeah.
But Gongan thrives under pressure. Their experience with demanding industries like semiconductors has prepared them well for space.
It's amazing to think that a company that started out making molds is now helping shape the future of space travel.
It really is. And it's not just SpaceX. They're pushing the boundaries in other areas, too, like advanced packaging.
Oh, yeah, advanced packaging. We talked about stacking those chip pancakes into skyscrapers.
Right.
But how does that actually work?
It involves making incredibly precise connections between the different layers of chips, using tiny wires, and even microscopic bumps of solder.
Wait, so they're basically doing surgery on chips?
It's pretty close, and the benefits are huge. You get more processing power in a smaller space, which means faster devices with longer battery life.
So Gongan is helping make our phones and laptops and everything else even smarter.
And as the demand for more power and speed keeps growing, advanced packaging is only going to get more important.
It's like they're the unsung heroes of the tech world.
Working tirelessly behind the scenes, making sure our gadgets keep getting better and better.
But it's not all about gadgets, right?
Hmm.
What about the bigger picture? What kind of impact does a company like Gongan have on the world?
That's a great point. Their work has ripple effects way beyond the products they touch.
Okay, I'm all ears.
Think about the economic impact. Gongan's growth creates jobs. It stimulates investment. It contributes to the whole economy of the places where they operate.
So they're not just a company. They're an engine for economic development.
Exactly. And their success inspires other companies to innovate too.
It's like they're raising the bar for everyone.
And that's not all. Their focus on precision engineering could have a huge impact on other fields too.
Like what?
Well, think about medical devices. They need the same level of precision and reliability as a spacecraft.
True. A tiny flaw in a medical implant could be disastrous.
Exactly. So Gongden's expertise could help create better and safer medical devices.
And what about robotics and AI?
Those fields rely heavily on precision engineering too. As robots and AI get more complex, the need for Gongan's skills will just keep growing.
It's incredible to think that a company that started out making molds could have such a huge impact on so many different industries.
And it all comes back to their core values, precision, quality, and a constant drive to innovate.
It sounds like they've built something really special. But what about the people? The engineers, the technicians, the leadership, what makes them tick?
That's a great question. Maybe in a future episode, we could take a look at their company culture, what it's like to work there, and the stories of the people who make Gongan so unique.
Yeah, I'd love to get a behind-the-scenes look at what makes them so successful.
And learn more about their vision for the future and how they plan to keep pushing the limits of precision engineering.
Speaking of the future, remember what Steve said about Gongan's potential in the U.S. market?
Yeah, he thinks their expertise and their track record will be a big hit with American companies.
Especially in industries like semiconductors and aerospace, where precision and reliability are so important.
Exactly.
I could already picture it. Gongan setting up shop in Arizona, creating high-skilled jobs and becoming a major player in the U.S. tech scene.
Haha, it could definitely happen. And it would show just how ambitious Gongan is and how well they can adapt to different markets.
Well, one thing's for sure, Gongan Precision is a company to watch. They're at the forefront of so many exciting trends. Semiconductors, aerospace, advanced packaging, even space exploration.
They're a company that embraces complexity and pushes the limits of what's possible. And they do it with a quiet confidence that's really inspiring.
It's like they're the hidden champions of the tech revolution. The ones who make it all happen behind the scenes.
And as they keep growing and evolving, who knows what amazing new advancements they'll be a part of?
It's an exciting time to be following Gongan Precision, and we can't wait to see what they do next.
So there you have it, listeners. A peek into the world of Gongan Precision, a company quietly shaping the future of technology, one tiny part at a time.
It's been awesome diving into the world of Gongan Precision. But before we wrap up, we have to give a shout out to our friend Steve.
Steve, the executive director of the Arizona Taiwan office.
Right. Steve, who has a knack for spotting winners, is super optimistic about Gongan's potential in the U.S.
He's probably right.
We can't wait to see what Gongan does next. You know, it's really something when you think about it. The impact that a company like Gongan has.
It's kind of crazy, right? They're like the bedrock for so much innovation.
Without them, those super precise parts and those incredible machines wouldn't even be here.
I know. We wouldn't have the tech that powers our lives today.
Our phones, the cars we drive, the internet. I mean, it all goes back to that precision engineering.
And that's Gunggen's specialty. It's amazing when you stop and think about it.
They're not just a company, they're like a force pushing progress forward.
And it's not even just the tech itself, it's the economy too.
Oh yeah, Gongin creates jobs, brings in investment, and helps the whole economy grow.
It's a win-win for everyone involved. And speaking of winning, remember what Steve said about Gongin in the US?
Oh yeah, he's pretty convinced they'll be huge here.
He thinks American companies will be all over Gonggin's expertise and track record.
Makes sense, especially in industries like semiconductors and aerospace, where precision is everything.
You can't mess around with that stuff, and Steve's got a good eye for these things.
I can already picture Gongin setting up shop in Arizona, creating tons of high-skilled jobs.
It would be a great move for them.
Yeah.
And for the U.S. economy, too.
A true win-win.
Yeah.
And it would really solidify their position as a global leader in precision engineering.
Definitely. So one thing's for sure, Gongin Precision is a company everyone should be watching.
They're right at the heart of so many exciting things. Semiconductors, aerospace, advanced packaging, even space.
And they're not afraid to tackle tough challenges and push the boundaries.
They have this quiet confidence about them that's pretty inspiring.
They're like the unsung heroes making the tech revolution happen behind the scenes.
And as they keep growing, who knows what amazing things they'll be part of next.
It's an exciting time to be following Gongin Precision, that's for sure.
So there you have it, listeners. A glimpse into the world of Gongin Precision, a company that's shaping the future of technology.
One tiny part at a time.
But before we sign off, a big shout out to our friend Steve, who's super bullish on Gongin's U.S. potential.
We're with you, Steve.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the incredible world of Gongin Precision.
It's been a blast.
Thank you for listening to the Board Business Channel. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications.